Okay, welcome back. I know I haven't uploaded in a very long time, but today we're doing some kind of Joeb kind of patch. Got that crispy undertone mid kind of shit. Just here's the patch. I also removed the lows. I mean, if I didn't remove the lows. With this patch, I ended up making a whole bunch of sounds. As long as you get the patch, then you'll be able to just kind of make your own sounds off of the patch. Got some sounds over here that I made from the patch earlier. The possibilities are endless, but this is kind of just the foundation. You can create whatever you want off of this. Now, this originated from an Odd Prophet patch, and he likes doing this like -3 octave shit so that you can fucking put it like over here without having to go all the way down, I guess. I mean, I don't really know why he does it, but he uses different wavetables, so I just had to use some stock ones, and I kind of tutorialized everything, if that makes any sense, so that you guys at home can kind of follow through. There's really two plugins you have to get for this. It's only Kilohertz Distortion and Camel Crusher. So we got this wavetable here from the digital section of the default Serum wavetables right here. Just a simple LFO here, 1 2 1 2. So yeah, like I said before, 3 octaves down, we got FM at 33% and the LFO at 17. Then I'm just automating the level like from 0 to max. Wavetable positions all the way down. Then there's just a default saw wave, which oscillator A is FMing into. Levels all the way down, 0 octaves and 7 semitones higher. I'll talk about the coarse pitch later. There's no sub or noise input. It's kind of just raw. So the filter I'm using here is a band notch 12 filter. It's only going through oscillator A. So for the cutoff here, I have it at 264 hertz and the LFO at 49. And I have it going both ways, so it's not just going one way. Resonance all the way down, default pan, mix all the way up. Frequency at 69%, the LFO at -19. And this is the trick. Drive boosted all the way up. If it's not boosted, obviously that comes with the processing as well. So here we have a Combs filter. This is what shapes the whole thing. This is what gives it that Joeb style. Like if you just take this away, gives it that metallic tail. So the cutoff's at 13 hertz and the LFO's at 7. The resonance is all the way down. The drive, 0 to max. Damp all the way down, pan in the middle, mix all the way up. This compressor here is probably the most important thing in this entire patch. Without this, with it. So this is what's important. Threshold at -8 dB. Ratio, attack, and release are all the same. Smashing the gain at 21 dB. Multi-band is on. So for the high band, it's at 100%. For the mid band's at 100%. And for the low band, it's at 200%. Now the mix is all the way up. But if you press the mix, the level will show up. And then the level's at like -7 because it was just too loud. Moving on, we have the hyper dimension. Rate detune all the way up. Unison 7, but the mix is at 0, so it doesn't even matter. Over here, the size is at 0 and the mix is at 60%. This reverb automation is also pretty sick. The size at 0, the decay at 0, low cut at 30%, high cut at 0, spin and spin def at 0. The mix is at 0 and the LFO is at 61. This EQ is also pretty important. Without this EQ, the processing would just take a toll on the highs, but this EQ kind of just tones it down and low passes it. So I'll have the frequency at 9500 hertz and then the LFO at 33. And I turned down the Q a little bit so that that notch wasn't there. Then I have this kind of important master tune, LFO2 here. This is what it looks like. It's at 1/4 beats, and as you can see over here, I put it on the master tune. I've got the LFO at 12 over here. It's just going one way, and this is also pretty important. LFO4 is the coarse pitch of oscillator B. This is what it looks like, just 4 bars, and just kind of just changes the tone of the patch. I didn't even mess with the LFO over here, so all you have to do is make this and then just drag it over. I didn't even do anything else. As you can see, when the LFO goes up, the pitch also goes up. Okay, now we can move on to the processing. I don't really think there's that much. I mean, this is all pretty simple. Got a kilohertz distortion. Here's the settings. Overdrive. Drive at 8 dB. Dynamics at 50%. Spread all the way down. Bias in the middle. And mix at 28. Then I have a Camel Crusher over here on the British clean patch. Here's all the settings. Got an EQ here, just removing the lows and the mids. Here are all the values. Then I have a bass mono utility at 300 hertz. Then I got a saturator over here. I kind of messed with the settings over here so that it would give it this weird shape. Then I have a default O to T, which I messed around with the output, the time, and the amount. Got an EQ here. You can check out these values. Then I've got an overdrive. Super useful overdrive, this one. Another EQ, just taking out some random peaks and frequencies I didn't like. Here's all the values. Then I just slam it with the glue compressor. Then I have another EQ, which is boosting the highs a little bit. Here are the values. Another bass mono with 300 hertz. Alright, this separate thing is actually pretty neat. What I did was just made 2 chains. This bottom chain has only the lows, and this top chain has only the highs, and I split them with the EQ3. Here you can see the lows gone, but the mid and highs are here. The lows are here, but the mid and highs are gone. And on the lower chain, with the low end, I put an amp on it just to boost the lows, crunch them up. Alright, then I got another EQ here. I got a dimension expander right here. Another EQ taking out like 3 dBs of lows. And this is just a reverb tail for when the sound stops. And yeah, that's the whole patch. I hope y'all learned something. I don't know if I'm gonna upload again for a while, but maybe. I'm hoping this tutorial makes up for the 8 months I was gone. And if you don't know what video I'm talking about, you can check it out in the description. It's a really sick Murata sustain tutorial. But if you guys like this patch, you guys can go ahead and like the video. And yeah, see ya.